Last time on the Avengers.
You are in the custody of the Strategic Homeland Intervention, Enforcement, and Logistics Division, known commonly as SHIELD.
Your problem is that the Hulk was spotted crossing the border into Russia last night.
All we've got are code names. Red Guardian, Dark Star, Vanguard, Crimson Dynamo, and Fantasia. The Weasley little man beside the Guardian is Blonsky.
You are a hard man to track down, Dr. Banner.
Rogers? Oh man, am I glad to see you.
I was picked up by some tradesmen heading back to this town. They graciously gave me some clothes to help disguise me through the checkpoint. Brought me here.
Whoa.
Time to go, Doctor.
Well, ain't that a breath of... Oh, shit!
Contact! We've made contact, Red. The Hulk is here.
That can't be good. Hulk, we're about to have some company.
More sing here to smash.
Because once dead, I cannot be damaged.
Captain, I am the Red Guardian of the Winter Guard. Stand down, turn over the Hulk, and we will let you leave Russia in peace. Or we will take both of you by force.
The Hulk isn't a thing to be bartered over. He's an Avenger and a member of my team.
We have every reason, Captain. The Hulk is a clear and present danger that must be contained. Where your government has failed to do so, we will.
Sorry we're late, Cap. Traffic was hell.
Send your people away, or we will take you all in.
Yeah, that's not happening, Discount Cap. Hulk's coming with us.
Ulstron! Verin! Algora!
Son of a bitch, did we just lose again?
Ross is gonna have our heads for this.
Whoa. Oh man, I think I'm gonna be sick.
Hank, are you okay? That was incredible. I didn't think you could go that big.
That's what?
Oh, shut up. Come on, let me help you to the plane. You're barely standing.
As Janet and Hank depart, Steve approaches Tony. The armored man averts his gaze from the super soldier's stare.
Tony?
Steve.
Didn't know Hank was working on his particles. That was quite impressive.
Yeah, me either. That was definitely a surprise. Just lucky he didn't pass out. So, what's going on with the Russian lumberjack look?
It's called blending in. Something red and gold armor is notoriously bad at doing. I've got my armor on underneath. So, thought you said you weren't coming back.
Didn't plan to, Steve. We're all under orders. It was this or prison for what happened with Doom.
Didn't mean for that to blow back on you, Tony. I'm sorry about that.
No, Steve, I am. We're Avengers. We stick together. Or at the very least, we're supposed to, right? And now we can report to Ross about how we lost the damn Hulk again. But together this time.
You always so dour. No bright side to this.
We got you back, which is a win. And we've seen what the Russians are capable of. It might help soften the blow about what's about to head our way. Come on, man. Jet's not far.
Blonsky is sitting at his computer, reviewing the latest changes to his equations. He sips on his coffee just as he feels a difference in atmospheric pressure. He turns to see Darkstar fall out of the shadow portal and collapse on the floor of the lab. He hurries over to her and cradles her head. She is pale, shaky, and covered in sweat.
Darkstar! Lania, what happened? Are you okay?
We got him, Doctor. I got the Hulk.
Darkstar passes out in his arms. Confusion and surprise race through his mind as he lowers her head and returns to his computer. He pulls up the security feed for the Hulk containment area. His eyes widen once he observes the Hulk attempting to beat down the adamantium-lined walls. Blonsky pushes the button for the comm system.
Disperse the sleeping gas immediately. Keep pumping it until he stops moving and maintain those levels.
On the view screen, the Hulk continues to wail away as the odorless, invisible gas begins to fill the room. The Hulk's movements become slow and sluggish before he slumps against a wall, unconscious.
Ah! Yes! I've done it!
His excited eyes fall back onto the unconscious Darkstar and his grin widens. He walks back over and kneels beside her.
Oh, my pretty Darkstar. Certainly you wouldn't deprive me of a victory kiss. After all, it is our triumph. Yes?
Blonsky picks up her head carefully and leans down towards her face.
Lania, are you in? Get the hell away from her, prick!
Blonsky barely has a moment to set Darkstar's head back down before Vanguard is upon him, hauling him up by his lab coat and throwing him against the wall. Right behind Vanguard is the rest of the Winter Guard, led by the Red Guardian.
What the hell do you think you're doing, Blonsky?
She just appeared and fell. I was trying to help.
Bullshit!
I swear! Nikolai, stand down.
No way. You saw him. He was all over her.
No, I didn't. All I saw was you throwing him around.
I know what I saw. You should let me kill him, Alexei.
I said stand down. That's an order.
Vanguard tosses the smaller man aside. He glares at Blonsky before turning to treat his sister.
Fantasia, go prep the medical team. Yuri, help Nikolai get Lania there.
Yeah, boss.
Crimson Dynamo walks over and gently picks up Darkstar's still unconscious form. With the armor on, his strength is magnified tenfold, which leaves Vanguard little to do but follow along behind. He casts one last look at Red Guardian before exiting the lab. Meanwhile, Blonsky has picked himself up and is readjusting his lab coat.
Thank you, Alexei. I want you to know.
In the blink of an eye, Red Guardian buries one large fist into Blonsky's belly, causing the smaller man to double over as the breath is driven from his lungs. Red Guardian then hauls him up by the nape of his neck until Blonsky is face to face with him, his weaselly little eyes now bulging and watery.
No. Before you lie to me, you abominable little stain. Understand this. My previous threat is off the table. If you go near Darkstar for any reason, I will break your neck. If we hadn't been so fortunate in capturing the Hulk today, I would be throwing your useless carcass out for the bearers.
Please,
shut up. Here are your orders. Do your goddamn job. You have 1 hour to show me your machine works, Blonsky. Anything else will be met with severe consequences.
You can't talk to me like this.
Wrong again. I no longer care who got you on this assignment, but I swear this will be the last time you serve on any special project. Now, get your shit ready.
He drops Blonsky, who slumps and curls into a ball at Red Guardian's boots. His thin face is swollen and red from the repeated strikes. Silent tears are running down his cheeks as snot dribbles out of his nose. It would be a pitiful sight for a much better man. Red Guardian kneels and forcibly points a finger into Blonsky's face.
1 hour, Blonsky. Get it done.
Red Guardian stands and leaves the lab, unaware of the rage-filled eyes following him.
What the hell do you mean you lost him?
I'm sorry, is my Russian translator on?
Back on the jet, the Avengers are getting chewed out by Ross, Talbot, and Hill on the view screen. Captain America interposes himself between Iron Man and the screen.
We were fighting blind, General. Intel dropped the ball. The Winter Guard surprised us, and Banner went Hulk. But the unknown capabilities of the Guard proved to be too much. They have 2 teleporters, and one of them scooped him out from under us.
What else can you tell us about their powers and abilities?
Never mind that. We need to focus on the bigger issue. The Russians have the Hulk. They could turn him loose on any number of strategic areas. This will be a disaster for our ops in the Middle East.
This team is a nightmare. This mission has been a foolish and ill-advised waste of time. Now I must talk to the President of the United States and come up with a war plan. You idiots just kick-started World War III.
At least we got the captain back.
Young lady, if I were you, I would shut my pie hole. The moment you return, you're all under arrest for whatever I can come up with. No more secret identities, no more mansion, no more Avengers. Just an 8x10 concrete cell in the middle of nowhere.
Hey, don't talk to her like that.
Did you just threaten the General?
No, he did not.
He just said what we were all thinking. Hill, we'll be in touch. Avengers out.
Guys, wow, thank you.
Don't mention it. So, who feels like a trip to Morocco? I hear they have no extradition treaties with the U.S.
No one's going to another country. Jarvis, can you locate my comlink?
Yes, of course, Captain. One moment. This is rather odd.
Talk to us, Jarvis.
The Captain's comlink is located several hundred miles from your location, but I cannot ascertain how it got there.
Simple. I planted it on Hulk before the fight. Jarvis, can you prepare for takeoff?
Aye, aye, Captain.
Wait, you... what?
Why didn't you mention it to the General? This is fantastic news.
Bruce and I spent a lot of time talking. Told me all about his boss, the General. Said I shouldn't trust him as far as I could throw him.
Wait. You don't think he's been playing both sides, do you?
According to Bruce, Ross achieved most of his bona fides during the Cold War. Once that ended, he was put in charge of special projects, like the one that accidentally made the Hulk. I think he's been looking for a reason to bring the fight back to the Russians. The Hulk just expedited that drive.
2 birds, 1 green, angry, stone. Okay, I buy this.
Even so, how are we going to take on the Guard? They kicked our collective asses.
They don't know we're coming this time.
I'm liking this plan more and more. I'm itching for a rematch.
Same here.
As the Avengers settle in for the flight, Iron Man turns to Cap.
And I thought you were all about trusting our military leaders and government. Never thought you'd be the one to go against orders.
Well, times are changing.
Knock, knock!
Avengers, spread out, take down the Guard, and find the Hulk. Do your best to take it easy on the Russian soldiers.
I'm picking up a massive power draw nearby. We should go this way.
I'm on your 6, Shellhead.
And soldiers, straight ahead.
Captain America takes point and blocks a spray of bullets with a shield, redirecting them into the concrete floor. Iron Man lobs 2 flashbangs into the line of soldiers, blinding and deafening them. They scatter in a panic as the Wasp zips up to them and stings them with her blasters. That is when Vanguard appears from around the corner down the hall. He crosses his arms and charges towards the Avengers.
Damn Americans! You do not know when to quit. It's all over. You lost.
Not yet, we haven't.
Iron Man fires 2 rockets just ahead of the running Vanguard. They explode, blowing a large hole into the floor. It breaks apart, sending the shivering young man tumbling into the floor below.
No!
If you're smart, you'll stay down.
The team quickly tears to the rest of the base, making their way towards the science wing. They stumble upon the medical area, where a doctor stands his ground before the entrance. The pistol in his hands shakes violently. Beyond him, the Avengers can see the sleeping form of Darkstar being tended to by a fear-stricken nurse.
Don't come any closer. I won't let you harm her.
We would never dream of it, Doctor. We just want our teammate back. Where is the Hulk?
Never mind. We'll just follow that.
He sounds hurt? I didn't think anything could do that.
Come on.
They race for the science wing, dealing with the occasional soldier with fisticuffs or blaster shot. Finally, they spot their target, a massive machine containing the Hulk. He's been immobilized by restraints on both hands and feet, spread eagle style. A huge transparent mask is fitted over his face with a hose attached to it, clearly a knockout gas of some kind. Even so, the Hulk's eyes are wide open as he strains against the shackles. Before the machine stands Blonsky, at a console, protected by the rest of the Winter Guard. Red Guardian steps up to meet the Avengers.
Is it just me, or does he look smaller?
What are you doing to him?
What you either could not or would not do. Curing him and removing the Hulk threat once and for all?
That's not possible.
We found a way. As I understand it, we are pulling the gamma out of his system.
Now I know you're full of shit. He's a walking reactor. You would need another reactor. Oh, shit.
Iron Man?
They converted one, Cap. They found a way to literally rip the gamma energies out of the Hulk and store them. We've got to stop them.
At that, Blonsky turns around, a wide, maniacal smile on his thin face.
And here I was told you're just a bodyguard. Awfully smart for one, but also quite stupid. The process has already started. Interrupting it could cause a fatal meltdown.
Like Chernobyl?
On the low end.
He's dying. Whatever this thing is, it's killing him.
You have no way of knowing that.
But you knew it would be a possibility.
It was deemed an acceptable loss.
Not to us. Avengers, assemble!
Winter Guard, protect Blonsky!
The two teams rush towards each other. The Wasp and Iron Man take on Crimson Dynamo, leaving Giant Man and Captain America to face off against Fantasia and Red Guardian. The Wasp shrinks down to the limit of the Pym particles and finds a gap in Dynamo's armor at the wrist. She starts blasting and destroying wires, causing malfunction alerts to appear on Yuri's heads-up display.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh, that looks important.
No, stop!
Hey, Yuri!
In his moment of panic, Crimson Dynamo has taken his attention off the Avenger. Iron Man rockets into the Russian, both fists straight into the stomach. Iron Man uses Crimson Dynamo as a wrecking ball as they crash through several concrete pillars. Then Iron Man opens both hands and blasts the armor at point-blank range. The surge of energy propels the armored Russian into a high-density support wall. When he becomes launched, the Wasp zips out of the sparking and dented armor.
And stay down.
Across the room, Giant Man is giving it all he has to fight off multiple Fantasia clones. And for everyone he pops, another catches him off guard and returns the blow.
Shame. The woman put up a much better fight. You are hardly any fun.
That's because even Russian ants need a translator.
What?
The real Fantasia looks down and sees thousands of swarming black ants begin crawling up her legs, while hundreds more are flying in to land on her. She can feel where they have pierced through her catsuit and begun biting her skin. She raises her hand and conjures a ball of swirling purple flame above it.
You disgusting little creatures!
Not happening.
Fantasia looks up to see a giant fist coming towards her.
Metzna! Rusk!
Fantasia vanishes. The giant man's fist whips right through the space where her head would have been.
Fantasia! Fantasia! Reply! Oh!
Distracted by Fantasia's disappearance, Captain America finally breaks through the stalemate that had been their fight. He lands a right hook into Red Guardian's face, followed up by a right snap kick. Red Guardian blocks the blow with the shield, but misses the incoming backhand right to his face. There is the audible crunch of bone as Red Guardian reels back. That is when he realizes he is surrounded by the Avengers.
You say you were created to protect your country. I, of all people, can certainly understand that. But this isn't the way, son. Stand down.
Would you, if it was the other way around?
No. But I'd live to fight another day.
Red Guardian stares down each of the Avengers, blood dripping out of his cowl. He slumps his shoulders and drops his shield.
Blonsky, it is over. Turn it off. No. What?
The machine beeps, indicating it is done. The door that leads to the containment area opens, and out spills a barely conscious Bruce Banner with his purple pants barely hanging around his thin waist. Blonsky does not hesitate. He runs for the machine.
Stop him!
But Blonsky is already at the door. He violently, if pathetically, kicks Bruce out of the way before diving into the containment area, pulling the door behind him shut. Iron Man and the Wasp land a scant second after the door clicks close and the machine begins to whir back to life.
You can't stop me now!
Everyone, get back!
What's he doing?
Nothing good.
Everyone rejoins Giant Man at the command console, Bruce supported by Iron Man. Inside the chamber, they can hear Blonsky beginning to groan.
Can you tell what that little weasel has done?
Oh, come on, don't pretend like this wasn't the plan.
Yet, Blonsky has hijacked it. What has he done?
Oh no, he's reversed it. Instead of draining gamma energy into your capacitor, he's
becoming the Hulk.
No. Something worse. You gotta stop him.
I have no idea how to turn this thing off safely. Red, this is your op. Fix it.
Wow. That's one ugly son of a bitch.
Emerging from the containment chamber is the transformed Emil Blonsky. Standing at just shy of 7 feet tall and made of muscle, the first word to describe him is massive. The second word would be grotesque. Blonsky's facial structure is barely recognizable, with his heavily protruding brow, flattened nose, and wide mouth. Strange pointed fins have replaced his ears, and gills can be seen around his thick neck. His hair has fallen out, and his skin has become an armored, scaly hide. Even the trademark skin color is off, appearing as a sickly green hue from head to toe, of which he has only 2 on each foot. The only remnant of Blonsky is the destroyed brown officer's pants around his waist.
Yes! No more weakness! No more orders! I am the strongest there is!
Oh, crap. He's still smart.
Blonsky, what have you done?
I have fulfilled my destiny! Now I will lead the Winter Guard!
Not while I still breathe.
No, wait!
Red Guardian frisbees his shield into the monster's head, while quickly following it up with a leaping kick to the thick right leg. But neither hit is quite powerful enough to affect the monster. Blonsky grabs his combat leader by the throat and sinks his now claw-tipped fingers into Red Guardian's body.
What was that you called me? An abominable little shit? I think I like Abomination better.
With one quick jerk, the newly minted Abomination snaps Red Guardian's neck just as Darkstar and Vanguard arrive. They are shocked at the horror of seeing their field commander die right in front of them. With a careless shrug, Abomination tosses Red Guardian's body to the side.
No!
Alexei!
The remaining Winter Guard. Good. I order you to destroy the Avengers.
The twins look at each other. A moment of understanding passes between them before they step forward, shoulder to shoulder.
No, not on your life, Creep.
Pity. Well, I can always rebuild the Winter Guard.
The Abomination leaps over the Avengers and charges towards the twins, who fight back with everything they have.
We can't just let him kill them.
And we won't. Iron Man, see if you can get Crimson Dynamo back on his feet. Wasp, Giant Man, and I will harry the big guy. Keep your distance as much as possible. Go! I'm right behind you. Bruce, how you holding up?
Not good, Cap.
I hate to ask this of you, but is there any chance you can Hulk out?
That's what I mean. There's no Hulk left. They took him. They cured me. There's no Hulk. It's just me in here. Finally.
Right. Okay, bunker down. We'll deal with this.
Captain America runs towards the pitched battle between the Abomination and everyone else. Even in a 4-on-1 fight, the monster is holding his own. Cap blings his shield into the back of the Abomination's right leg, this hit causing it to buckle. The shield flies back onto Cap's arm just as the scaly Russian whirls around and drives both fists down onto Cap, pinning him into place.
Guess I can kill 2 super soldiers today.
Not today, asshole.
The Wasp zips up and blasts him directly in the eye. Abomination recoils and swats blindly around him as he tries to find his target. Captain America dives backwards into a somersault, clearing himself from the fight.
You bitch! I will crush you like the worthless bug you are!
How dare you talk to her like that?
Giant Man now towers over the Abomination so much his head scrapes the 20-foot ceiling. He rears back a hand and plants it on top of the monster, smashing him into the floor.
This is gonna hold him. We need a plan.
We have one. Giant Man, move!
Giant Man lifts his hand away just as Iron Man and the Sparkling Crimson Dynamo pour their full arsenal onto the Abomination's head. Shrapnel, debris, and smoke begin to fill the area, completely obscuring the mutated man. Finally, both men cease firing.
He must be toast, Nothing could survive that.
A large, pointed boulder comes flying out of the smoke cloud at an incredible speed, striking Crimson Dynamo. The boulder tears into the damaged chest piece. Sparks and blood spray from the breach. The armored man crashes into the ground and does not move. The Abomination steps out of the smoke cloud, a nasty smile on his reptilian lips.
Poor little Yuri. That is what you get when you are only loyal to your next paycheck. Do you idiots not understand what I have become? I am better than the Hulk. I am a god among men. I am the future.
You talk too much, you fucking maggot!
What?
From directly under the Abomination, Darkstar pulls the same trick from earlier on the Hulk. He falls, but just as before he catches himself on the edges and struggles to get out of the hole, blood begins to trickle out of Darkstar's nose as she pours more energy into holding him in place.
I can't hold him much longer!
On it!
The Wasp zips over and blasts him in the eyes again. With a cry of anguish, the Abomination claps his monstrous hands together to crush her. They just barely miss her as he disappears into the black void. The shockwave sends her tumbling through the air before Giant Man gently catches her. Vanguard activates his comlink.
Sergei, lock down the Hulk room and fill it with everything we have. Do it now!
The couple return to their normal sizes, with Giant Man holding the Wasp close to him.
Wasp? Wasp, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm good. Though, how do you feel about the colors black and blue?
Beats the alternative. Any day.
Vanguard stands supporting his sister. Captain America and Iron Man turn to the Russian mutants as Bruce crawls out of the hiding space he managed to find.
Well, now what?
Our mission was a joke from the beginning. Short-sighted, impossible, stupid. Nobody should have that power.
We could try to reverse what Blonsky has done to himself.
Not according to my scans. When he changed himself, he broke your little machine.
And the only one who can ever make it work was Blonsky.
And even if we could reverse it, then the question becomes, what do we do with that power?
Would the Hulk not want his power back?
No. You'd have to kill me first.
What would you like to do, Vanguard?
Vanguard spots a metallic red spot next to his foot. Bending down, he recovers Red Guardian's shield from under a small pile of rubble. He rights himself and looks at Captain America.
Rebuilding the Winter Guard is where my priorities are. With Fantasia on the loose, and Yuri and Alexei gone, Russia needs its protectors. Same as America.
That's a noble goal, son. I think Alexei would be proud of you.
Thank you.
And Blonsky?
Take this. What is American term? Mudbag with you when you leave.
Dirtbag. But close enough. What will you tell your government?
Blonsky's calculations were wrong. The resulting explosion killed him and two of the guard. The Hulk escaped. His whereabouts are unknown, but we are confident he is no longer in Russian territories.
Wait, what explosion?
The one that will happen about 20 minutes after your team leaves. I am afraid it will level the whole complex.
Oh.
Take care, Avengers. Should you be in Russia again.
He extends his right hand. Cap accepts the open offer.
Same. Should you end up in America.
With that, the teams depart. The Winter Guard to begin their cover-up, and the Avengers to figure out how they are going to transport the Abomination back to S.H.I.E.L.D.
Not the lack of a smile on my face, Hill. Should help as an indicator as to whether or not I'm happy.
Several hours later, the Avengers return to the S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier. The Abomination has been outfitted with a gas mask and shackled to the best of their ability. It has been a long, uneasy flight as they waited for the big Russian to wake up at any moment. He was carted off as soon as they landed. To where? The Avengers were not told. Now they were facing off with Ross and Talbot over Bruce's future in the conference room, while Bruce was sent to sickbay for testing and treatment.
Happy is such a relative experience.
Dugan, let's see how much of the General's foot he can shove in his mouth first.
This is outrageous! We demand to speak to your superior. Where's Fury?
As I said before, Director Fury doesn't get involved unless the end of the world is at stake. I won't repeat myself further.
I am demanding that Dr. Banner be put into my custody immediately! That is an order!
And if this were a DoD ship, then what you demand would matter.
A vein bulges on the General's forehead, and his face flushes red with anger.
How dare you! Do you know who I am?
No, but I know who Dr. Banner is, and he's an Avenger.
What could that possibly have to do with anything?
You hired the Avengers to deal with your problem. We dealt with it. Mission completed. Avengers go home, and that means all of us.
That is a very liberal, very skewed interpretation of your orders, Tin Man. And I don't recall authorizing your immunity before you left.
No, but he did.
Hill slaps down a piece of paper and slides it across to the General. With a scowl, he immediately passes it over to Talbot as he stares down the assistant director.
What? Forgot your reading glasses, General?
In accordance with S.H.I.E.L.D. Directive M24, under the guidance of the World Security Council, the organization known as the Avengers is recognized as having functional immunity. while acting under the direction of S.H.I.E.L.D. This functional immunity includes all members, past and future, and extends in perpetuity.
That is a sickening use of power. I won't stand for this, Hill.
Continue to speak to the assistant director like that? You won't be standing at all.
You should be very careful about your next words, Agent. Threats to high-profile military leaders tend to be neutralized. Permanently.
Dugan, give us the room, please.
Agent Dugan steps out of the conference room as Hill looks at the two men. Behind her, the Avengers loom with Captain America and Giant Man to her right, and Iron Man and the Wasp to her left.
Gentlemen, understand this. You are not leaving here with Dr. Banner. Any further discussion on the issue will have you escorted off my ship. And if one more threat leaves your lips, Talbot, I can arrange to have them sewn shut. Am I clear?
Crystal, ma'am.
Fine. We want the Russian, then.
That is also non-negotiable. Your track record for holding gamma-infused creatures like him is abysmal at best. The Abomination will be staying in S.H.I.E.L.D. custody permanently.
That is unacceptable.
That is the way of the world. Now, if that is all, Agent Dugan will escort you to your craft for departure.
We can find our own way. Thank you.
Major, it's a big ship. I'd hate for you to get lost and show up on camera doing something illegal.
With matching scowls, both men turn and exit the conference room. Agent Dugan tips his hat towards Hill before the door closes, acknowledging his orders.
Ha! Sucks to suck. Ugh. Wait, I shouldn't laugh. That hurts.
Come on. We need to get you back to the mansion and get you looked at.
Agreed. We've all been away from home for far too long.
Captain, a word before you go?
The rest of the Avengers file out. Iron Man gives Cap an inscrutable look, but follows behind his teammates.
Yes, Commander.
I wanted to stress to you the limits of your immunity. As the most reasonable member of your squad, I felt it was prudent to address that with you.
Very well. What kind of limits?
That the World Security Council only has so much political pull, and Director Fury went out on a major limb for you today. Specifically, you.
Fury. Any relation to a Sergeant Jack Fury from World War II?
That's Director Fury's grandfather, and he retired as Lieutenant General. Old man loved his war stories. Apparently talked about you in several of them.
So, this Director Fury is, what? Doing a favor for his grandfather by helping out an old war buddy?
I think that's exactly it. So I wouldn't expect any more of those sentimental favors. You've been given a lot of slack. Definitely more than I would have given. Don't make the director look bad.
More than you would have given? What does that mean?
It means that not everyone likes the fact that there are so many superheroes running around unchecked and unsupervised. You're one major disaster away from getting us all killed.
Then why stand with us against the General?
Because I follow orders. And he's a pompous piece of crap that dishonors the uniform. Shutting him down was the frosting on my cupcake.
And if the orders were different?
If my orders were to track you down and put you behind bars, well, I follow orders, Captain.
I see. Well, I appreciate your candor. Hopefully, you'll come to see us as the force for good that we are.
I know you can be a force for good. It's your methodology I disagree with.
Very well. Thank you, Commander. It's time I see to my team.
After you.
A few days later, 2 black sedans pull up to the Arizona residence of Betty Ross. She steps out to watch the approach, a cross look on her face. It changes immediately into one of confusion as Bruce steps out of the back of the lead car, a happy smirk on his face. His health has visibly improved since this trip to Russia, but he still looks a little worn, even with the new clothes, fresh haircut, and clean shave.
What? Not happy to see me, Bets?
Betty runs toward him and throws her arms around his neck. She clings to him tightly.
Oh, Bruce, you're home. You're really home.
Yeah, I am.
Betty pulls away from Bruce to observe the party that has accompanied him. Coming from around the other side of the lead car is Tony, dressed stylishly in a black suit, dark red button-up with an open collar, and a pair of futuristic shades. Out of the other car appeared Janet, Hank, and Steve, all in civilian wear as well.
Geez, Bruce, you didn't say how lovely she is.
Whoa. Bruce, are these?
Mum's the word, dear. Right, of course, Tony. Everyone, this is the love of my life, Betty Ross. Bets, this is Tony Stark, Janet Van Dyne, Dr. Hank Pym, and Steve Rogers. They're just very good friends, here to make sure I get home, safely and finally.
Oh, right. Of course. So, wait. Does this mean what I think it means?
She turns to look up into his eyes, her blue eyes full of hope. He grins and nods.
Yes. I can't really explain it, but I'm cured. No more intrusions by the other guy.
You really can't stop talking in code, can you?
Kept me alive for several years, Tony. Hard habit to break.
Well, perhaps this will offer you some time to relax and get back to your life, Bruce. You've earned it.
Thank you. Thanks to all of you. I'm getting my life back.
Well, there's a lot of people that owe you their lives too, Bruce. Much as the other guy brought trouble to your life, he helped when it counted.
What are you gonna do now?
I feel like I could sleep for days.
I'm sure we'll think of something to do to pass the time.
And that's our cue. Come on, we need to get moving. Before we do that, let me talk to you for a moment, Bruce.
The two men step away from the group, allowing the others to talk to Betty.
All right. Did we not cover everything in the car?
It's just one last thing, okay? There are some things I don't do very well.
Like what?
Offering apologies.
Tony reaches into his coat pocket and pulls out a business card. He hands it to Bruce.
And that is the number for my personal assistant, Pepper Potts. She's been instructed to help you land any job within Stark Industries that you want. Okay, the options are all up on our careers site. Just pick one and you're off to the races.
Wow. Thank you, Tony. But I have to ask, why?
I'm the one that ordered us to leave. The other guy behind, right? To leave Steve behind. You should know that Janet and Hank tried everything to get us to go back. I mean, Janet much more so than Hank, but still.
So, you're trying to buy yourself, what? Restitution? With a job offer?
A very lucrative job offer. But, yeah, something like that. I was wrong.
Look, you did what you thought was right for the team. In letting the other guy off the leash, I had created a problem for everyone. It's really me who should be apologizing, you know?
Oh, I know, believe me. I'm fully aware. But two wrongs don't make a right.
But it all worked out in the end. You guys have your get-out-of-jail-free card now.
I don't think Alexei and Yuri would agree. And that thing Blonsky came with too high of a price, Bruce.
Yeah, probably.
Well, I have kept you from your lady love too long. Go home, Dr. Banner. You've earned it.
Tony holds out his right hand, which Bruce gladly accepts.
Yeah, I have.
In the faraway lands of Asgard, Thor rests peacefully beneath an oak tree with his chest bare to the sunlight. At his side is not his trusted hammer. Instead, a curvy blonde woman snuggles into his chest, her elegant fingers gently playing across his perfect skin. Subtle trails of green mist dance from her fingertips up to his head, joining a nearly invisible crown that encircles it. A brief gust of wind rolls across them with whispered words only the woman can hear.
Amora, report.
Thor's eyes stir at the breeze, and she delicately places a finger upon his lips.
Shh, my beloved. It is merely the wind. Allow me to redirect it.
Amora uncoils herself from the thunder god and steps away from him. She conjures a window before her, her lovely features now marred by the scowl on her face as she peers into the face of the bright-eyed rogue Loki.
What do you want, trickster?
I just wanted to check in. Make sure everything is going to plan over there. Everything is going to plan, yes?
His mind roils like a thunderstorm, and my enchantment is very delicate. The slightest disturbance, and it could unravel entirely. Like message spells on the wind.
I see. But you have him contained, yes?
For now. Best make a move soon, Loki, before I forget to maintain the spell and allow him to wake up.
I do so love idle threats from would-be allies. But you are right. He is all yours. For as long as you can keep him.
Amora dismisses the window spell, leaving Loki alone. He turns back to his other compatriots, a contingent of frost giants. Their leader, Ymir, stands before them waiting.
All is good. It is time to proceed with the invasion. But first, a change of clothes is in order.
A purple haze envelops the trickster god, but it is not Loki that steps out of the cocoon. He is now Thor, fully armored and ready for battle. He flashes a crooked grin towards Ymir as he picks up a fake Mjolnir.
So, how do I look?